I am here in the lush, mysterious, wild Vancouver Island, more specifically Pacific Rim National Park, where we are going to start a week-long backpacking trip on the iconic West Coast Trail. It's known for its beauty and its difficulty. We're looking at over 100 ladders, over 75 kilometers, bridges, cable cars, river crossings, knee-high mud. This is Rainforest, obviously. But I'm ready to go. Let's do it. All right, so this is also the epic return of Maggie on one of these trips. This is the first trip we have done together since our 8-day trip in the Thoroughfare. Maggie, for whatever reason, only signs up for the most difficult of all trips. I want to say right off the bat, with the West Coast Trail, oftentimes you have a beach route or a forest route. The tide is in our favor, so we start with the beach, then you cut into the forest. It's magical old growth rainforest here on the coast of BC. We are seeing a lot of bear poop on this section of trail. Black bears are very active in this area, specifically the north part of this trail. So you kind of have to keep an eye out. Actually, specifically where these first few campsites are. A lot of bears. So let's talk about wildlife while we're at it. Vancouver Island is known for its mountain lions. It has like the most mountain lions per square mile than anywhere else in the world. No grizzly bears. There are grizzlies obviously in BC, and they think sometimes they swim over on the north side of the island, and maybe they're starting to establish themselves for a little bit, but for the most part there's no grizzlies. There are also coastal wolves here, which is awesome. I think that is so cool. You know, if you're hiking and camping in wolf country, it means you're in an awesome wild place. And then you got all kinds of sea life. You got orcas, gray whales, humpbacks, I think minke whales, might be wrong about that. Seals, harbor seals, California sea lions, stellar sea lions, elephant seals, loons, owls, bald eagles. So this is just a great just coastal rainforest, diverse landscape here. So the way it works out here is there's a bunch of, you know, backcountry camping areas. I don't know how many, but there's a lot throughout this trail. You don't reserve a specific site. You can stay where you want. And you can do this in however many days you're comfortable in doing it. I think most people do it in about 6 to 8. We're looking at maybe doing it in 6 days, going in and out of national park land, into various reservations that exist throughout this area. They also manage their territories, and then they have guardians who basically maintain the trails, and we've seen their carvings and the wood platforms and stuff, which is really cool. Creepy. Oh my God. All right, we have made it here to Michigan. A good spot here. All right, so we just set up the tent. We're about 12 kilometers in. That's 12 kilometers down out of a total of 75. We got a high tide. You always have to pay attention to the tides here. It's going to raise about 10 feet from where it is right now. So we're right up against the trees.
All right, good morning and welcome to day 2. Today the plan is to go over to Susiat Falls. It's supposed to be one of the highlights of this entire trip. Maggie, where are you running off to? She just sprinted out of the tent.
Most of the places here have bear boxes for you to put your food in. A lot easier than hanging it. In Michigan, they have a bunch of wooded campsites, which is good if the tides are high or maybe if it's raining. Depending on the site, you also don't want a spot that's going to be flooded in heavy rains.
So we just had a couple orcas swimming out in front of the campsite. That's not something you see every day. You could just see their fins coming up. I tried to get it on camera and I failed. Morning coffee, Pacific Rim National Park on Vancouver Island. It is so cool to be at your campsite and just be looking out at like orcas swimming by and sea lions. This is it's a totally different experience from what I usually do backpacking, and it is super cool. Gotta climb a ladder even to go to the bathroom here. All right.
Just take us both out. The trail can be brutal here. This probably once was a bridge, no longer. So the trail guardians of the Indian reservations where this trail runs through do some carvings. What's interesting to all my Bigfoot people, what's that? So that out there, I don't know if it shows up, is Washington State. So that's the Olympic Peninsula out there, which is cool because when I was out doing Hurricane Ridge at the top of Olympic, I was way at the top of 360 views and I could see Vancouver Island, and now I'm seeing it from the other side. So this is one of those spots where you do have to time the tides. So if you get here too early, you gotta wait it out, or get here too late, you could be screwed. We gotta take a cable car, and then we're almost there. Okay. Oh,
Yeah?
Yeah. Are we almost there, or?
We're less than halfway.
Oh my god, that was a workout. And there it goes. In the old days, this cable car wasn't here and people had to swim across. Fun fact. This is stunning.
Muddy up in here.
All right, we've made it to the Suicide Falls campsite. Set up here up on a bluff. Waterfall's down here. We'll check that out in a little bit. Is this not one of the coolest places to camp in the world? Look at this. Pacific Ocean on one side, that on the other. Basically, this is a very just technical trail, and because of that, there's a lot of injuries that happen on this trail. I guess it's like on average, it's one hiker a day is rescued from this trail, and a lot of that happens with the trail that we have yet to hike. So we're gonna have to start early, probably hit the trail by like 7 a.m. We're gonna be hiking all day. There's a crab shack on the way, run by the local Indian reservation. Weight of the packs was absolutely huge for this trip.
All of the roots and rocks you have to jump
Yeah.
over. Like with the light pack, I can safely go jumping around
Right.
these.
A light pack is crucial out here, people, crucial.
Oh, good morning and welcome to day 3. Having some early morning coffee. We have a big day ahead of us, so we need an early start. All right, we're packed up and we're heading out.
so awesome to see a wolf right now just prowling the beach. That's what they do out here. Got sea lions over here making a ton of noise. Super sassy as always. Some tracks here. It almost looks bare, but it's so small. So we're seeing those tracks everywhere. I'm starting to think it's a small bear. So these are pretty sketchy. You fall, you actually fall. We have come to Net Narrows. We now need a shuttle to come over from that direction and pick us up. Maggie's gonna call them.
Woo woo!
Wow, they really echo. Is that crab in there? Shouldn't be near here, buddy. There's a crab shack 12 feet away.
I'm happy.
How clear this water is.
Either side of the I don't know what day this is.
Well, that was maybe the best moment of my life. Now, another one. What do you think, Maggie?
I want to go swimming.
You go swimming? All right.
Yeah.
We'll see ya. There's our hiking buddy over there. You can see the glaciers of Olympic back there. I'm guessing those are otter tracks. Back in the forest. So we left the beach, I don't know, for the second or third time today. And last forest section, we're going to drop down to the Carmana camping area, or the beach first, then Carmana. Okay, kind of a tough section. It's okay. Banfield, where we came from, Port Renfrew, this way. West coasting. All right, so we made it to our campsite. That's 21K in the day, so that's awesome. Beautiful beach. We're gonna get set up and get going. Wow, we just put in an absolute monster day. Bald eagle flying right there. I just filtered water. Are we the only ones here? Wow. So after seeing all these other campsites that are swamped with people, we don't have one person here. That's amazing. So this cable car behind me here goes right over Carmana Creek where we're camping. We might not have to take it, I think, if we can ford this, and then you can just re-access the trail. Because now I know why people skip out on the cable cars. Looking at a couple sea lions right now, swimming by. Maybe we'll see a wolf tonight. We're pretty out here with nobody else around. Yeah, so with the crab shack, I got like 3 different meals. I had 2 grilled cheese. What I have crab.
And then the ultimate.
The ultimate, there was crab, salmon, potato, 2 beers, candy. We're supposed to like go there and quickly move on. We ended up being the first ones there, and we just took advantage of that, and we stayed for like 2.5 hours. It was insane. But then we still had a monster day to do after that. We went like beach forest a bunch, and I will say, just to come up here over is it Carmana Point? Up over at Carmana Point where the lighthouse is, you can see it over here. That was a little tough, I think. It was just steep and in like the worst mud of the trip. But it was a long day. It was like 13 miles. These aren't regular 13 miles. This is West Coast Trail miles, which is totally different. But it was an epic day, and we have the coolest campsite ever all to ourselves. So this is as good as it gets. All right, good morning and welcome to day 4. It's pretty cool having the site to ourselves all last night, just not any noise at all. So today's the rainy day. Unfortunately, today's supposed to also be like the hardest technical day. But first, coffee.
Okay, so we're now on the stretch of beach where there is no forest option, and racing against the clock to get to our checkpoint before the tide comes in. So we're committed now. We gotta make it. Tide's moving in on us. Water is rising. Still got a ways to go. This stuff is really slippery. Gotta be careful. Here comes Maggie. All right, we made it across to our destination. I guess we did probably like 5 or 6 kilometers in like 90 minutes. So we were flying. It was an absolute leg workout because you're just going through deep sand. Every step you got to work. Into the rainforest we go. Sour Patch watermelon break. Critical. Don't be fooled by these boardwalks. I'm only filming because I can film. This has been a brutal stretch. I think we're in the bog here, known as the bog. We're definitely in a bog. Here we go. We are taking a break here, taking the raincoats off just because we're in a humid rainforest and we are drenched, specifically me. This stretch is brutal and in no way gets easier. I can see why they now say, like, without this trail, this forest is 100% impenetrable. Everything is just so muddy. You can't trust a single step. I think this is the MVP moment of the bog. People before us took a dunk. This is the beginning of the ladders of Colite. Drops straight down this ravine. I think there's a cable car at the bottom, and then you climb up steeper and higher on the other side. You ready? Yeah. There's 2 ladders above her. Got 1,000 more down.
Okay.
Alright, I know the camera's all foggy, but it's foggy in here. I'm foggy. We are just slodging, is that a word? Slodging through the, oh God, slodging through the rainforest here. Trying to get to camp before dark.
See, like this is where I can actually take a camera out and I don't have to be on all fours, climbing up something, climbing down it, climbing under it, trying not to fall into a pond. We made it, Mags. We made it. We have made it to Camper Bay. That's probably the toughest day of hiking in my life. What'd you think of today? Mud.
Exactly.
You have mud in your eye. Mud. That's the only way to describe it.
I didn't find the ladders tough in regard to strength. I found them mentally tough. Like I was so afraid going down.
She was kind of
them.
freaking out about the height.
Yeah.
I don't even have ladders on the mind. And today was the ladder day. Ladders of Cullite, endless tall
I have
ladders.
mud on my mind.
We have mud on the mind. When we went into the jungle, it was just a slosh through thick mud and just roots and endless obstacles. It was knee-high mud. If you were to just say screw it and go through the whole thing, it's knee-high mud for, I don't know, 10 kilometers. You're just trekking through thick jungle. I mean, it was epic.
It was mentally tough, especially because we were worrying about the time.
Right.
The entire day.
Right, we were told we weren't going to make it a couple times.
Really a toll.
I didn't film 99.999% of what happened today because I just couldn't. I needed my hands to crawl on all fours up over things, and if I fall and trip, which is happening constantly, you need your trekking poles.
Stretched on one log, stretched on this log.
Yeah,
Both of them were wobbling.
It was
my poles are
cartoonish.
stuck in the mud. Branch would hit you in the face.
The day before we did 21K, and that was a huge day, and today was infinitely harder at 16K because of the terrain. Rightfully so, the bottom half is a lot more difficult than the northern half of the West Coast Trail. Tomorrow the plan is to stay at Thrasher, which is the southernmost camping area of the West Coast Trail. So unless anything crazy happens, that's the end of night 4, I believe. Good morning. Let's have some coffee here. When I first got up, I could barely move my legs.
Well, I'm trying to film some action. I feel like I've had very little action on this GoPro. By the time we get to camp, we're both dead and nothing happens. So, if you want to trip or give me some content.
No, I'm not tripping. I would never get up.
All right, we're all packed up here. So now we got 8 kilometers. I think to do more of the same of what we just did yesterday, all the way to Thrasher. All right, let's do it. Get day 5 underway. I don't think you're gonna go anywhere when I let go of this. Ready? You got all this stuff? Okay. These can snap at any point, and they do. But don't say that now. The load lifter on the right side, right there, that strap just snapped off as I was hiking. Pop! Toughest stretch of the trail. And my bag's straps are snapping off. All right, we just took a quick break here at kilometer 69. Big old growth broken tree there. Must have created a small earthquake. Look at this, these are like ET woods here. Big old growth trees. We have made it to Thrasher. Psych. We have made it to Thrasher, and it is beautiful. We are officially drying everything out that is wet, and that is everything that we have. Look at Maggie up in that rock going all out. Maggie just said this is her favorite moment of the trip. Why is that?
Two favorite things, eating and sun.
Simply put. Experiencing this after I think 48 hours of mist, rain, and nothing but mud. To come out, break through the forest, out to a spot like this on a beach, all sun, it's like paradise. This trip is, you know, it's like a roller coaster. If you are familiar with the West Coast Trail, you know that's what to expect. You can be just sloshing through mile and mile and mile of thick mud in the rain, and then break out to an absolutely earth-shattering view. And it's like every now and then you get these moments that just remind you where you are.
because it's easy to get lost in the moment because you're just looking down, making sure you don't fall into a mud pond. So you just get lost in that. But every now and then you look around and you're just in this old growth rainforest where you break out to an amazing view of the Pacific with whales. And in terms of logistics, just so you know, you can do this trail north to south or south to north. We started at the north, down to the south. We wanted our packs to become lighter and lighter and lighter to be able to deal with the more difficult miles down at the southern end of the trail. Some people opt to get that out of the way first by starting in the south and going north. So it's really up to you and your own level of comfort. But scenery wise, this is a 10. It's an absolute 10. And this is a life-changing experience to be out here doing a week on the coast of Vancouver Island. Oh my God, he got in. Zachariah!
Carpathia!
Carpathia!
Armando!
You call him Armando?
D'Angelo.
Woo! Connor!
You made it!
You're alive! This is Connor. He's on the video now. What do you think, Mags? It's our last night.
I'm happy about that.
You're happy? You're happy about that? What's been your favorite campsite?
Well, I really like the moment that we just had of here.
Right.
Because the sun was shining. Susiat, maybe?
Susiat Falls?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I loved being alone at Carmana. By the fire here with Maggie and Connor.
But I don't know what to do. I'm never on GoPro.
It's always awkward.
Come on, Maggie, lead the way.
Well, we just saw this this highly likely Sasquatch figure
That's right.
walk down the beach and not return.
Right, we saw someone walk that way, and that's a really sketchy way to go because nobody's down there and he has not returned, and it's been a long time. And Connor's saying that he may be a bit of a shape-shifting situation.
Yeah, I think it's like a werewolf situation.
Right.
Yeah.
But with Sasquatch.
Or
Right.
like vampires do that too. Yeah.
You're concerned with that? Well, vampires is this Twilight country.
I don't want to like turn indigenous folklore into
Right.
Twilight quality
Right.
stuff, but at the same time,
That's a thing.
I don't know how else do you explain that man.
Well, maybe he's just lost.
Oh my God.
All right, good morning, and welcome to day 6, the last day. All right, we've hiked up the very steep ascent out of Thrasher Cove. Just know if you stay there, round trip, it adds about 2K to your trip. And now it's the final push to Gordon River.
Put me at a bad time.
These are the squatchiest woods I've ever seen. You go down, you go up, you go down, you go back up.
Don't think of it.
This is by far the steepest. What? Why did they save this for last?
Yes! Yeah, touchdown! The eagle has landed!
That was the steepest ladder of the whole trip.
West Coast Trail!
Maggie is raising the buoy to indicate that we are done for the shuttle to come across Gordon River and get us.
Thank you.
Two of you?
Yeah.
The other one of you.
Oh.
I said two of you. I'm looking for the other one of you.
I was like, we were doing the double kick.
Oh, one of those!
Yeah.
This is it.
Just like that. Beautiful.
Nights.
Okay.
Hopefully see skates and whatever. And we're like, no way.
My eyes.
Oh yeah! And we have crossed the Gordon River and finished the West Coast Trail. We have completed the 75-kilometer iconic West Coast Trail on Vancouver Island. Just life-changing experience. The West Coast Trail. Backpacking trips don't get any more epic than this. Thank you so much for watching.